Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Trained Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver.com gets you started. Choose between 2 great options. Become a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. Training is free, plus earn a $500 bonus. It's easy to start your new career. Learn more at WisCaregiver.com.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, January 16th. I'm Jessica Tighe. Your top story, one of the most difficult days in Brewers history.
I'm Adam Roberts in for Greg Matzik. A ceasefire deal delayed.
Checking out your forecast today, we have a high of 36, a chance for flurries, mostly cloudy, breezy though too, wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, will dip down to 24. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy and mild, a slight chance for a mix at night. We have a high of 42 tomorrow. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, saying goodbye to Mr. Baseball. Bob Uecker passed away at his home early this morning at the age of 90. In a statement, the Brewers say, Ueck was the light of the Brewers, the soundtrack of our summers, the laughter in our hearts, and his passing is a profound loss. He was the heart and soul of Wisconsin and a dear friend. He was so much more than a Milwaukee Brewers icon. He was a national treasure.
Having been born and raised here, played here with the Braves, and then to be a part of the Brewers broadcast team for all of these years, and to be associated with all of you who come to the park each and every night and have been doing it since the team arrived. Thank you very much, and thank you for tuning in to our broadcast each and every day.
Euchre's family confirmed he had been battling small cell lung cancer since early 2023.
Other stories we are following this morning: a delay in the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. Prime Minister of Israel Benjamin Netanyahu accusing Hamas of attempting to go back on parts of the agreement, saying the Israeli cabinet will not ratify the agreement until Israel's conditions are met.
The White House says despite the mixed messages from Israel and Hamas, there is confidence here that the ceasefire and hostage release deal will begin to be implemented on Sunday. National Security Spokesman John Kirby on ABC's Good Morning America.
There are some implementing details that still need to be ironed out. We're working with the Israelis on that very, very hard right now, but we're confident that we're going to get there.
Kirby gave some credit to the incoming administration, saying President-elect Trump's support for the deal sent a strong signal to the region, especially Hamas. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
A Chippewa Falls brewery owned by Molson Coors shuts its doors tomorrow, leaving more than 50 workers without a job. The Leinenkugel family has offered to buy the brewery from its parent company, but so far Molson Coors has rejected the offers. Former president of Leinenkugel Brewing, Dick Leinenkugel, joined Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
We gathered with our employees and retirees last Thursday, and it was a surreal moment, almost like a funeral wake.
Molson Coors says their pilot brewery and the Leinie Lodge in Chippewa Falls will remain open.
Pushback from the Milwaukee Common Council over an ICE facility moving to the city's northwest side. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement location in downtown Milwaukee is planning to move to Park Place Business Park. And Alderwoman Larissa Taylor does not want that in her district.
That office intends to move to this facility and operate exactly as they operate. At least that is the word that they have given.
And Common Council President Alderman Jose Perez says they're also concerned the move could lead to something more.
I am firmly opposed to any expansion of ICE-type detention services in the city of Milwaukee.
Current operations include processing non-detainees and detainees for transport to holding facilities, not detentions.
Time for news about your money. Here's the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A bit of a mixed bag on Wall Street right now. The Dow is up 27 points to 43,249. S&P 500 is also up just about almost 7 points to 5,956. The NASDAQ is down, however, down nearly 50 points to 19,460. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are coming up next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 11:07.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. At Diamonds Direct, there's no gotcha clause, no fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Who else does this? There's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem anymore affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A fast start for the Milwaukee Bucks leads to 30 points for Dame and 26 for Giannis, and a 122-93 win over Orlando. Milwaukee is now 22-17. That's good for fourth place in the East. Next up in the homestand, the Bucks take on the Raptors tomorrow night. Women's Wisconsin basketball back in action tonight, hosting Ohio State. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more.
Let's check the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Handful of incidents right now we're keeping our eye on. Right now, we've got the exit to 25th Street from 94 West. That's closed because of a vehicle fire. Looking at the DOT cameras right now, it doesn't look like there is much in the way of smoke at the scene at this time, so that may have been cleared. That was reported about 15 minutes ago. Elsewhere, we've got the right shoulder blocked due to a broken down vehicle, 4145 south at Burleigh, and another one on the exit to Elm Road from 4194 south.
And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, chance for flurries, mostly cloudy. It's partly cloudy right now in Milwaukee. High of 36 today, wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll dip down to 24 for the low temp. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy. Slight mix in the evening hours, high of 42 tomorrow. Saturday, mostly cloudy, turning partly cloudy, falling temps, high of 26. On Sunday, that's when we start to go down again. Partly cloudy and cold. We only have a high of 8 on Sunday. And Monday, very cold, a high of 5. So enjoy this, everybody. It is currently 32 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Tighe, and in for Greg Metzik, it's Adam Roberts.
It is such a sad day here in Milwaukee and across the country. We're going to get straight to our breaking news today.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, Mr. Baseball has passed away. The legendary Bob Uecker died at his home early this morning at the age of 90.
From Wrigley Field here in Chicago on an overcast, windy afternoon for baseball. It's the Brewers and the Chicago Cubs in the opening game of the championship season.
Uecker spent 54 seasons as a broadcaster for his hometown team, calling Milwaukee Brewers games right here on 620 WTMJ. He was inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame in 2001. A backup catcher in his early days, Uecker became known for his ability to laugh at himself and make all of us laugh. Uecker was a beloved baseball icon. He has 2 statues at American Family Field, one right outside of the ballpark, and then you have that other one, that famous one in the last row of the Uecker seats. The Milwaukee Brewers releasing a statement saying, "Today we take on the heaviest of burdens. Today we say goodbye to our beloved friend, Bob Uecker." And stay with us. We have a lot more coming up, including more from the Brewers. And also at 11:15, Brewers beat writer Adam McCalvey will join us to look back on Bob Uecker's career and share some personal memories as well. We'll also hear from the Uecker family.
Number 2, we are following other stories for you on Wisconsin's Midday News, including new details in on what will happen to the social media app TikTok come Sunday when a ban is set to take effect. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
TikTok's lawyer says the app will go dark in the U.S. on January 19th. That'll likely mean it'll still be on your phone. You won't face penalties for trying to log in, but it might not actually work. And that is because the company is now reportedly planning to proactively shut down for its more than 100 million existing U.S. users on Sunday. So instead of your feed, a message would pop up directing you to a website with information about the ban.
So you won't be penalized if you still obviously have TikTok on your phone. And there is still speculation incoming President-elect Donald Trump could take executive action upon taking office to prevent a ban from taking place. Interesting note, TikTok CEO Shou Chew is expected to attend the president's inauguration. That is next week, Monday. Also expected to attend Google CEO Sundar Pichai. So still some movement, but the clock is ticking on the app.
Yeah, a lot of people waiting to see if it actually goes away. Number 3, brand new findings from the American Cancer Society. It just released its annual report. Among the findings, higher rates among women and younger adults for certain types of cancer. Here is American Cancer Society Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. William Tighe.
For the first time, if you're a woman under the age of 65, you're more likely to have a cancer diagnosis than a man. One, we're seeing some increased risk of cancer, and breast cancer and thyroid cancer. But what's really sort of striking is for the first time under the age of 65, lung cancer is now more likely to develop lung cancer in women than in men.
One of the big takeaways is this shift from cancer over the age of 65, which is still the greatest risk factor, to between the ages of 50 and 64 now. Dr. Tighe says more than 50% of cancers are actually preventable cancer deaths. Tobacco is half of that. It's 11:14 right now. Stay with us. Coming up in just minutes, Brewers beat writer Adam McCalvy will join us on the legacy and the loss today of Bob Uecker.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks on demand in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi! Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
The 0-1 pitch. Swings, and there it is! A base hit into right center. He's done it. 3,000 for Robin.
Wow, what a call there. Bob Uecker calling Robin Yount's record 3,000 hit. It's hard to imagine that we're not going to hear that voice in real life anymore. The breaking news today, the beloved Bob Uecker has died.
This one is personal for so many, just because you hear a call like that from the 80s and knowing that he did it for as long as he did. I've heard throughout our halls here at the Avenue at our studios, everyone has a personal story. He's impacted all of us, not just as the flagship of the team, but just fans of the team on your backyard in the summer, the sound of summer, as he's been known.
Speaking of memories and personal stories, we have Adam McCalvy, Brewers beat writer, joining us live right now. And Adam, thanks so much for taking some time out with us. Just first off, when you got the news, your general reaction, because I know we were in the production booth and our hearts just dropped. I mean, there were audible gasps. We knew this was coming, but still, there's part of you that feels like it's not going to ever happen.
Yeah, because he felt like you would go on forever. That's what we all wanted, and maybe we projected that a little bit. But, he worked so hard to get through this past season. It was really tough. And I just am thinking today about, that game 3 of the wild card series against the Mets did not end the way Bob wanted, the way Brewers fans wanted, the way the Brewers wanted. But what a gift from the baseball gods that we were all given one last ball game with Ueck on the mic. And I'm going to try to write the story of that night. It was a unbelievable effort to get on the air. It was an unbelievable effort all season for Uke, and he didn't want to share that. He didn't want to make a big deal about what he'd been going through. The family shared today that he'd been battling cancer since 2023, and just a lot went into the last couple of seasons. And I'm thinking about Jeff Levering. I'm thinking about Lane Grindle, Josh Maurer, Kent Sommerfeld, all the WTMJ people who were there by his side. And what a gift to fans that all those people and Bob gave to just get some more games out of him. And he was, I talked to Jeff Levering today. Bob he sounded so good for so many of those games this past year,
yes.
Even with everything he'd been going through. All the movies, the TV, the commercials. This guy at his core was a baseball guy, and he was a great broadcaster. And that was always the thing that brought him home. And I that's the thing I'll remember about Bob. All the stuff was great, so many laughs. But, boy, he was a great broadcaster at the core.
Brewers.com beat writer Adam McCalvey with us on Wisconsin's Midday News. Adam, you are about as close to that team as anyone who is associated with the organization. Can you speak to Ueker's longevity? You mentioned all of the different roles and hats that he's worn over the years, and for doing it so long, even in the last few years of his life, powering through everything he was going through. Can you speak to the longevity and how rare it is nowadays for someone to be in this game of broadcasting for so long?
Well, it used to be the way it was, right? Around the game, you'd have these voices, Jack Brickhouse and Vin Scully and Jack Buck, and they were the sounds of a certain team around the country, and Uke was the sound of Brewers baseball for 54 years. That is we're so scattered now. There's so many different ways that the game's delivered to us. The days of sort of curling up under the covers like I used to do as a kid with a little radio listening to Uke, that I think that's rarer now. So it's, in a way, kind of the end of an era. What stands out to me is he was special in that he was one of the guys to the end. And fans saw that. Gio Gonzalez makes those Air Uecker shoes the day they dressed up in the Uecker clothes for, the Tonight Show, the patchwork jackets. They all dressed up for a road trip one time. He was like part of the team. And that goes all the way back. Robin Yount and Paul Molitor talk about Uke throwing batting practice and keeping everybody loose in the clubhouse. He was in the clubhouse every day until the end at 90 years old. And, the other thing I think about that is so special and rare. Let's see what Jackson Churio's career becomes. But, we're going to have Bob Uecker highlights of Jackson Churio as a 20-year-old hitting his first home run in the big leagues. That's going to live forever. And I think that is something really special that you're talking about 70 years separating the two. And what brings them together is this game. And that's something that I'm thinking about today, too, is he spanned generations. He's special to all of us because we feel like we knew him. I'll tell you, one of my just personal memories of Uke, and I was saying this morning, I don't know if this is something that I've conjured. I think this actually happened, but I have a memory of Easter Sunday, 87, that warm day, being in my grandma's backyard in West Dallas, and we're sitting on those lawn chairs with the weaved nylon. Right? They'd hurt under your thighs after sitting there for a while. And we had the radio on and listening to those home runs where they go 12-0 to start the season and tie the American League record. I have such a strong memory of that, like it's yesterday. And it's Uke's voice. And I think a lot of people, however old you are, if you've listened to baseball and like baseball on the radio, that's something. Everybody probably has a game they remember, a call they remember, whether it's, Rob Deere and Dale Swaim or Ryan Braun in 2008. It spans the generations.
Anytime someone passes away, it's incredibly sad. And of course, as we say goodbye to Mr. Baseball, today is very sad. But one of the things that we loved so much about Bob Uecker was his ability to laugh at himself and to make all of us laugh as well. And I know you have some good stories, so I want our listeners to laugh for a moment. Can you tell us about the one with the, yes, I'm going to say it, lightning farts with Mickey Mantle?
Well, look, here's why I love this story, because it happened this year. So, I mean, Here's Bob Uecker at 90 in the clubhouse holding court like he did every day. Batting practice, there's a lot going on the field, but you'd always find Uecker on that top step of the dugout, leaning against the rail, and someone would walk over and start a conversation. And one day he starts telling a story about Clete Boyer and Mickey Mantle of the Yankees. Way back when, maybe it was a Miller Lite commercial shoot, or maybe it was somewhere at a ballpark. But Uecker started telling them how in the Army, they'd pass time by, with a lighter and I mean, for lack of a better word, they're flatulent. And Clete Boyer and Mantle are, that's not true. That's an old wives' tale. That's a bunch of nonsense. And as the story goes, Clete Boyer drops trow, and right wherever they were, they tested this theory, and it ended in a near medical emergency.
Oh, my God.
And we're laughing because how often do you get to hear about, Mickey Mantle and lighting farts? I mean, this is unbelievable stuff. So then Christian Yelich walks over and says, what are you guys talking about? And you starts the story from the very beginning, and he tells it with the same color and vigor and the whole deal all over again. And Yelich is doubled over. And then some of the young guys, Sal Frelick, Garrett Mitchell, whoever it was, walk over. And we get the whole story again. And, after a while, 2 hours have passed. It's like time to start the game. And we're sitting there in the dugout laughing because this guy at 90 is still a great, the greatest all-time storyteller. And he's got so many, they just go and go and go. So that's one that's going to stick with me forever, that day where we just laughed and laughed and laughed.
But you have another one, too. What's your favorite personal story?
Well, look, I was fortunate to do that Brewers book at their 50th anniversary, and I did a lot of interviews for that. And for Uecker, he swam every day well into his 80s. At Miller Park and American Family Field, they had a resistance pool, and he would come in there in the afternoon at game, get his work in before the players did. And then in the off season, when he was in Milwaukee, he'd be in there every day swimming. He was in great shape. So when I did this interview with him, he said, come on by after I swim. So we sit down in the little players' dining room that's in the clubhouse. And, I love Uecker because the guy's done everything. I mean, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame and hosted SNL and, made $1 bazillion doing everything you can possibly do in entertainment, but he was so down to earth. He wanted a cup of coffee. So they had this anodyne cold brew coffee in the players' dining room. And he pours himself in a styrofoam cup this coffee, which, I mean, maybe it's been in there for 2 months at that point.
Oh,
and he drinks hot coffee. So he pops that cup of coffee in the microwave and heats it up. And sits there and drinks his coffee. And I don't know why that sticks with me. It was like just typical down-to-earth Uecker. He wanted some coffee, so he popped it in the microwave. And it's one of those little moments that I'll never forget.
It's so nice that we can hold on to those memories, but man, what a day today. Saying goodbye to Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, passing away at the age of 90. It's incredible we had him that long. Adam McCalvey, Brewers.com, thanks so much for joining us and sharing your awesome memories.
Of course. Thank you.
It's 11:27. Coming up next, your top local headlines.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
If you're able, please help people impacted by the California wildfires in 2025. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help families recover.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Should I delay my Social Security benefits, or should I start taking them right away? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Your decision can impact your income for the rest of your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help you create a strategy to maximize your benefits so you can make the most of what you've earned. Social Security is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap. Take the first step today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and get a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Don't leave money on the table. Text SS to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
I'm Bruce Nemovitz, Senior Real Estate Specialist and founder of Bruce's team. Everyone on my team understands the challenges of moving from your longtime home that may no longer be working for you. Ready for a smaller space, warmer climate, want to live closer to the grandkids, or you're just sick of the upkeep? Our team will help you get your home ready to ensure you get top dollar. Give us a call today at 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com and let us take you from overwhelmed to I can do this.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. Now is the time to start a meaningful career as a caregiver. Make a real difference in people's lives. WisCaregiver.com gives you 2 great options for free. Train for the in-demand caregiver workforce as a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or become a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. All training is free. Plus, you can earn a $500 bonus. Learn more. Visit WisCaregiver.com.
This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, January 16th. I'm Jessica Tighe. Your top story, saying goodbye to Mr. Baseball.
I'm Adam Roberts, safe after an early morning fire.
We have a chance of flurries today, mostly cloudy, otherwise breezy too. High of 36, and boom, we just hit that here in Milwaukee. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour today. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll dip down to 24 for our low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, and mild. We have a high of 42 before, the cold comes later on. It is currently 36 degrees in Milwaukee at 11:32. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Bob Uecker has passed away. We're saying goodbye to Mr. Baseball.
Swing and a drive to center and deep. Way back. Get up. Get up. Get out of here and gone for Ryan Braun.
Today we take on the heaviest of burdens. Today we say goodbye to our beloved friend, Bob Uecker.
Have the lead.
That statement from the Brewers organization today announcing Uecker's passing at the age of 90. Uecker had battled small cell lung cancer since early 2023, his family says. In a statement from the Uecker family, they go on to say, he met that cancer with the same strength and resilience that defined him. Even in the face of his challenge, his enthusiasm for life was always present, never allowing his spirit to falter. Bob Uecker, dead at the age of 90.
No doubt about that, baby.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Other stories we're following this morning. 5 people safe after a fire on Milwaukee's north side that is currently being investigated as an arson case. Officials say a man allegedly set the fire near 18th and Keefe. 5 people inside between ages 4 months and 30 years old, all able to escape without injury. The suspect is in custody with charges pending.
Bound for trial, Peter and Zachariah Mailer are the father and son charged with felony criminal damage of property to a mural on Milwaukee's north side. It depicted a swastika intertwined with a Jewish Star of David. The charges stem from an incident in September. Both were captured on surveillance video tearing down the mural. Both pleaded not guilty in court on Wednesday. They'll be back in court at the end of the month for a bail bond hearing.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
Hey, there's free pizza today at the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the free pizza days. Seriously, it's free. Coaches, managers, business owners, listen up. Check this out. Every Thursday, when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free. You get it. Bring in your basketball, wrestling, hockey, gymnastics, volleyball team, or your club organization for free pizza after your practice or game. Your players are going to love that huge game room. It's super affordable team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees. Half those pizzas are free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and Oshkosh near the EAA. It's right off the interstate. Tons of seating, tons of close parking. Buy one pizza today, get one free. That's tons of value. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Order now and pick it up shortly or dine in. A reminder, the Friday all-you-can-eat fish fry is just $7.99. Whoa, that's great value. Walk in today for your free Thursday pizza. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob.
Sun, 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 fun, 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 sun, sun, sun.
Boaters, this is your show. The Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park. Over 300 boats, family runabouts, ski and surf boats, luxury pontoons, more Lake Michigan boats than ever. Tierra, Beneteau, Pursuit, Cruisers, Sea Ray, Boston Whaler, and more. Get that boat and get that deal. See Twiggy the water skiing squirrel the second weekend. Check MilwaukeeBoatShow.com. January 17 through 26. Closed Monday and Tuesday.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A fast start for the Milwaukee Bucks leads to 30 points for Dame and 26 for Giannis in a 122-93 win over Orlando. Milwaukee is now 22-17. That's good for fourth in the East. Next up in the homestand, the Bucks take on the Raptors tomorrow night. Wisconsin's women's basketball back in action tonight, hosting Ohio State. Badger Sports Updates sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
Let's check the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver. Traffic fresh crash right now on the exit to Highway 50 from 4194 South in Kenosha County. That's going to be on the right side of the road. We've got multiple squad vehicles, including an ambulance and fire truck on scene right now. So traffic is being moved over to the right. Again, that's the exit to Highway 50 from 4194 South. Elsewhere, just a smattering of broken down vehicles. Your drive times are looking good late this morning.
And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Chance of flurries today, mostly cloudy, otherwise breezy, high at 36. Talking about breezy, we have wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour today. Tonight, mostly cloudy, will dip down to 24 for the low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and breezy, mild though. Our high is 42 tomorrow. Saturday, we start to take a turn. Saturday, mostly cloudy, turning partly cloudy, falling temps, high of 26. Sunday, partly cloudy and cold. Our high on Sunday, only 8. And then get ready for Monday, everybody. We have a high of 5 on Monday. It's currently 36 degrees and overcast in Milwaukee.
Gantner, there he goes. The pitch, a swing and a fly ball. Right field and deep. Get up, and get out of here. Gone for Swaim. And they've done it again. 12 in a row on a 2-run blast by Swaim to win it. Oh, my goodness. Holy cow. Do you believe it?
Holy cow, what another amazing call. But today, we're remembering Mr. Baseball. Bob Uecker passed away this morning at the age of 90.
Bob Uecker was Wisconsin's soundtrack of summer since 1971.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! It is gone!
Giving fans a bird's eye view of the game and Brewers milestones from his front row seat at the park.
He's done it! 3,000 for Rogers.
swing and a base hit to right. 39 straight for Molitor.
Robert George Euchre was born in Milwaukee in 1934, a local kid who made it to the bigs with the hometown Braves before finding his legs as an actor and entertainer.
Would you welcome Mr. Baseball, Bob Euchre.
Making some 100 Tonight Show appearances, starring in scads of spots for the hometown brew.
These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh? We're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on.
Euchre made WrestleMania appearances, starred in his own TV series, one that ran 6 seasons.
Who are you? Belvedere. Lynn Belvedere.
Then there was the movie Major League.
On into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
And his turn as announcer, Harry Doyle.
Ball 4. Ball 8.
His real-life career in the booth began a year after the Brewers came to Milwaukee from Seattle, honing his signature call.
If somebody really hits a ball, some guy up there really juices one, you'll see the guys on the bench get up and get to the steps or wherever and look that way. And, I mean, every guy in the dugout is hollering, get up, get out of here, get out of here. You know, that's where it came from.
Euchre earning a place in the broadcasters' wing at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, awarded in 2003.
It's been a great run, but number one has always been baseball for me. No matter what else I ever did, baseball was the only way I wanted to go.
Gene Miller, WTMJ News.
So many listeners texting in, one from the 978 saying, rest in peace to the voice of Milwaukee Brewers baseball, spring and summer, since my childhood. Euchre was a sound of summer, says another one from the 414. And a couple of people are also texting in saying, this is the first I'd heard of Bob having lung cancer. And something that's in the statement from the Euchre family today, it says, Bob faced a private battle with small cell lung cancer since early 2023, which he met with the same strength and resilience that defined him. Even in the face of this challenge, his enthusiasm for life was always present, never allowing his spirit to falter.
And we just heard from MLB.com beat writer Adam McCalvey, who's covered this team for 20 plus years and mentioned that strength and that longevity, even in the last few years where Euchre was more on a welcome-in basis. Anytime you want to do a broadcast, we'll have you. It's still never stopped the vigor and the get up, get out of here, gone. It's just so powerful, even into those later years of his life. And by the way, everyone, keep sending in your memories of Mr. Baseball. Our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is 855-616-1620. You can also share your memories on our WTMJ social media accounts as well. Keep them coming in.
You talked about his strength. His family also talked about just his kindness and his humility. They say he brought joy to countless listeners through his wit, charisma, and love for baseball, Milwaukee, and all of Wisconsin, creating a legacy that will forever be cherished. While his contributions to the game are noteworthy, it's his kindness, humility, and love for family and friends that we will hold closest to our hearts. Bob Euchre, dead at the age of 90. It's 11:41.
I know, January's here. WTMJ's John Burke here. If you have the January blues, start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. Enjoy any steak, the seafood, the pan-fried walleye, a fresh salad, steak and lobster, the ribs, the pasta, any dinner on the menu. Your second dinner is free. Desserts and those huge ice cream drinks. Also, buy one, get one free. Sip on an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. Check out the bourbon. 100 wines on the new wine list. The Fox and Hounds in the heart of the Kettle Moraine Forest is a one-of-a-kind gem. The holiday decorations are still up with thousands of lights. The Christmas characters. It's a must-see, and those 7 wood-burning fireplaces will keep you warm on a cold January night. Weekends might be too busy for some, so enjoy a quiet, romantic dinner tonight at the Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra concertmaster Jinwoo Lee is the soloist in the tuneful and romantic violin concerto by Jean Sibelius, January 24th and 25th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Music director Ken David Mazur will lead the MSO in this program, which also features the tone poem Pan and Syrinx by Danish composer Carl Nielsen, as well as this searingly beautiful musical elegy Within Her Arms by British contemporary composer Anna Klein. Tchaikovsky's dazzling Romeo and Juliet rounds out this lush and dreamy program. Visit MSO.org for tickets and more information, or call the box office now at 414-291-7605. The number again for tickets is 414-291-7605.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Here it is. Yelich sends one to right center and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here and gone for Yelich. He has tied the game. The pitch. Ryan Braun sends it to left center and deep. Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Ryan Braun. He just hit a walk-off out of here. Wow. You can't do it any better than that.
You talk about some of the greatest calls from Mr. Baseball Bob Uecker. That one from 2018, April 3rd, back-to-back home runs to walk it off at then Miller Park. That is one of my personal favorites that I've pulled up out of our archives here at WTMJ.
Those calls, no one did it better. And I love some of the memories that are coming in. One from the 2920 right now. Says, as a lifetime Brewers fan at 49 years old, I don't know Brewers baseball without Bob. It feels like losing a friend. The breaking news today, Bob Uecker, Hall of Famer and legendary broadcaster, who you heard calling the games right here on 620 WTMJ, is dead at the age of 90. Just everybody has a memory, and so many fans. And it's not just here in Milwaukee or across Wisconsin, it's across the country.
This one from the 414 speaks to me, driving up to or from the cottage in northern Wisconsin, listening to Uecker on the radio with broken heart emojis. That was, I think, for a lot of us, those Sunday afternoon games when you're heading back from Marinette, Forest County, or wherever, and coming back home, knowing that the first pitch is 105 and it's easy, smooth sailing on the Brewers radio network all the way home.
Yeah, and then some people have personal memories, too. One coming in from the 414 in Milwaukee says, I remember having a drink with Bob Uecker at the left guard on Blue Mound. Oh, and so many are coming in right now. That one just bounced. It says, in Brookfield many years ago. That's from Jerry in Brookfield. So we appreciate it. You can continue to share your memories with us. We'll take them all day today on the Sounding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line.
This one coming in from Queens, New York. Kyle in the 347. Uecker brought amazing memories to my family. My parents were at the Dales Fame Easter Sunday game. We played the sound from that one in 87. And the Yount 3000 game. Used to have Brewers season tickets. We'd bring our radio to listen to Uecker since the Brewers were so bad. R.I.P. Bob Uecker. Thank you for making me fall in love with baseball. It's Kyle in Queens.
Well, we're obviously on top of this breaking news today, but we do want to get to some of our other news of the day as well. We've got our weekly wellness check that we always do at this time with Dr. Ben Weston, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County and Associate Professor at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. Weston, I have to apologize that we're not using your special Doctor music, but obviously a sad day for everybody here in Wisconsin with the passing of Bob Uecker. Do you have any memories of just, being here in Milwaukee and going to those games? And here we are losing a legendary broadcaster today.
Yeah, it is a sad day. I certainly remember going to games. I think one of my favorite Bob Uecker memories, though, is when I was, I guess I was probably a teenager when he was in Major League, the movie, as the announcer there. And that's always a fun Bob Uecker memory as well, in addition to all the Brewers stuff.
Ah, so good. It brings us back to the days of summer and the warmth, right? When we'll be watching baseball over at American Family Field and Hopefully people will not be ill anymore. So many people
One day.
have been dealing with this sickness, as we do oftentimes during Wisconsin winters. Let's get into that. This respiratory illness update that we wanted to get to. I know we've talked with you about what's going around over the last couple of weeks, and it's been more than one thing. And now there's this term for it. It's called quademic. What's the latest?
Quademic is a dramatic term for it, but for people who are experiencing it, it feels pretty dramatic. So this is simultaneous spread of these 4 different contagious viruses. You got flu, you got COVID, you got RSV, and now to add to all that, you have norovirus. Now, none of this is new. We see outbreaks of these viruses in past winters, certainly, but we have flu and COVID already on the rise. We have RSV. And then norovirus is just tearing through our community, tearing through across the country, really. And so it can lead to higher than normal hospitalizations, especially among vulnerable populations like elderly or those with underlying health conditions. So now is a great time to wash your hands. And remember, with norovirus, hand sanitizer doesn't work quite as well. So wash your hands, cough into your elbow, and stay home when sick.
Dr. Weston, I know we're into now mid-January, and many people may think, the time has passed for getting any sort of flu or COVID shot. I'm just going to tough it out and weather it through at this point. Would you refute that and say, hey, it's not too late, you can still go in and get one?
Yes, definitely not too late. I mean, COVID, we're just starting to see the winter rise. Flu, we're just starting to see the winter rise. And so really, it is not too late. It takes a week or two to get that immunity on board. But we will definitely still be seeing lots of flu and lots of COVID a week or two from now. So go out, get those vaccines. Flu, COVID for just about everybody. RSV is for older populations or women who are pregnant in a certain time period of their pregnancy. Talk to your OB doctor or family medicine doctor. But remember, vaccination is the most effective way to protect yourself from severe illness, from hospitalization, and from other complications from these viruses. It's quick and easy.
We're talking with Dr. Ben Weston, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County and Associate Professor at the Medical College of Wisconsin for a weekly wellness check. Dr. Weston, there's some talk out there right now about heated workouts and are they more effective? What happens to your body during a hot fitness class? I think about hot yoga. I used to like to do that. It just felt good for the body. Is it better than just a workout in normal temps?
Yeah, so these heated workouts, a lot of people think of hot yoga. But they can offer a range of benefits. One in particular is for flexibility. So when you're in this warm environment, your blood vessels expand, you get more oxygen and blood to your muscles, and this can help kind of loosen things up, make your stretches feel deeper, improve your range of motion. So that's one of the possible benefits of these heated workouts.
Now, on the flip side of that one, though, Dr. Weston, with everything, it's too much of a good thing, I would assume. I remember sometimes training for powerlifting, and we would be saying to each other, hey, let's just go spend a sauna session. And I would say, oh, how long are we going to be in there? And it's, we'll let you know when we're done. So I have to imagine, though, too much of a good thing can still be bad.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So listen, the benefits are a little bit unclear as far as cardiovascular benefits. Does it really improve your endurance, things like that? It doesn't seem that it makes a big difference. And that's why it's important to remember when it comes to long-term improvements in fitness, don't worry too much about your temperature or anything like that. It's more about consistency. But to your point, it's important to prioritize safety, especially when the temperature of the room is high, like above 100 degrees. You got to stay really well hydrated and listen to your body. If you start feeling dizzy, you start feeling nauseous, you get really sweaty, you want to take a break and cool down.
As we continue to follow the wildfires in California, I think about the immediacy of that. And of course, all of the people who have lost loved ones, all the people who have lost their homes and their children's schools and, the grocery store and the gas station. But I also think about the effects down the road and the health impacts. What are some things that people need to worry about right now?
Yeah, so we can start with physical impacts, and that's largely from the wildfire smoke. It can have immediate as well as long-term effects on health, especially if you're exposed frequently or over extended period. So we can start with short term. So inhaling smoke can cause coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, can irritate your eyes, irritate your throat, and these are particularly problematic for folks with pre-existing conditions, especially lung conditions like asthma or COPD. It can make everything more severe. And then there's long-term things, prolonged exposure in particular to wildfire smoke Those tiny particles from the smoke can get deep into our lungs. It can cause chronic respiratory issues like asthma, like bronchitis, and even strain your heart and cause heart disease.
And Dr. Weston, I recall a few years ago, remember we had the Canadian wildfires that were blowing smoke into our area. I remember the sky being so bright orange for so long. And while we don't know if the smoke from these fires will head to southeast Wisconsin, it's a good reminder just what are some steps we can take to make sure we're keeping the air around us as clean as possible?
Yeah, so when we have, and hopefully we don't again this summer, but if you're living in areas with wildfire smokes, or certainly if we get it again here in Wisconsin, one of the first steps is to stay indoors as much as possible, keeping windows and doors closed. This prevents the smoke from coming into our house. Air purifiers. A lot of people during COVID got air purifiers, or if not then during the air quality issues got air purifiers. This is a great way to filter out those smoke particles and help maintain indoor air quality. Now, when the weather gets real bad, especially if you have those lung conditions, if you got to go outside, you may want to wear a mask. Now, in these cases, these cloth masks or paper masks aren't going to do much. The particles are just so small. So it's really the higher quality N95 or KN95 can help protect you when you're outdoors if the air quality is really bad or if you have those health conditions, to stop those particles from getting deep into your lungs.
Dr. Ben Weston with our weekly wellness check. We always appreciate it, and talk to you next week.
All right, take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Time right now is 11:55. Coming up next, it's your local top headlines.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why Annex Wealth Management presents the Women in Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women in Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Elizabeth and John bought their starter home 8 years ago, BC, as in before children. Now, with 2 elementary school-age kids, they wanted to make a move to the suburbs for a bigger home with more yard. But they didn't know if or how they could buy their next home without selling their current one. Fortunately, a friend who was a multi-time Accunet client connected them with us, and we soon determined they could, in fact, afford to buy without selling first, which was a big relief to them and their real estate agent. Armed with an Accunet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval, it still took several weeks to find the right home for the next chapter in their life, but I'm happy to report that Elizabeth, John, and their boys opened their presents on Christmas morning in their new home after closing just a few days before. Whether you're buying your first home or your next home, go with the pros who have all the tools and know-how to make your home buying experience as smooth and successful as humanly possible. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
I'm Jean Nemovitz of Bruce's team. Together with my husband Bruce and our dedicated team members, Erica and Cindy, we're here to guide you through one of life's biggest transitions, moving from your longtime home to a new one. With empathy, kindness, and understanding, we'll walk with you every step of the way, making the process as smooth and stress-free as possible. Let us take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Call us today at 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver.com gets you started. Choose between two great options. Become a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. Training is free, plus earn a $500 bonus. It's easy to start your new career. Learn more at WisCaregiver.com.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
It is 12 o'clock. I'm Jessica Tighe. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, January 16th. Your top story, remembering the legendary voice of Brewers baseball.
I'm Adam Roberts. Should 794 stay or should it go?
We have a chance of flurries today, mostly cloudy, otherwise breezy too. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Our high is 36. Tonight we'll dip down to 24, mostly cloudy this evening. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy as well, breezy and mild. We have a high of 42 tomorrow. It's currently 36 and overcast in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, saying goodbye to Mr. Baseball. Bob Uecker passed away at his home early this morning at the age of 90. In a statement, the Brewers say Ueck was the light of the Brewers, the soundtrack of our summers, the laughter in our hearts, and his passing is a profound loss. He was the heart and soul of Wisconsin and a dear friend. He was so much more than a Milwaukee Brewers icon. He was a national treasure.
Having been born and raised here, played here with the Braves, and then to be a part of the Brewers broadcast team for all of these years, and to be associated with all of you who come to the park each and every night and have been doing it since the team arrived. Thank you very much, and thank you for tuning in to our broadcast each and every day.
And thank you, Bob. Uecker's family confirms he'd been battling small cell lung cancer since early 2023.
Other stories we're following this morning. Just in a few moments ago, CNN and others reporting Israel will be voting on a ceasefire deal between the nation and Hamas on Friday. This as the proposed ceasefire has yet to be approved while both sides are accused of continuing aggression in the Middle East. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says despite the delay, the deal will still happen.
We've worked to broker a deal that would bring hostages home, that would stop the fighting, that would surge humanitarian aid to people who so desperately need it, that would create the space to conclude a permanent ceasefire. We now have that, and we expect implementation of the agreement to begin on Sunday.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Hamas was attempting to renege on parts of the agreement, looking for last-minute concessions. Continuing attacks by Israel after the ceasefire was announced have led to at least 18 deaths in the region.
More than 73,000 vehicles make their way between the Hone and the Marquette interchange via 794. But could it go away?
A public survey just completed by the DOT whittled down the options for the 794 interchange to 3. Replace, improve, or remove altogether. Project manager Dave Pittman.
It's kind of an even split in the amount of people that like each group. And there's a lot of people that understand the advantages and disadvantages to each one.
A final decision is expected next year. And when construction could begin?
I would say right now we're currently looking at that timeline. 2027 might be a little aggressive.
Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
The man accused of driving the wrong way onto the highway into the path of Vice President Kamala Harris's motorcade last year, now pleading not guilty to felony charges of second-degree recklessly endangering safety. Wayne Wacker faces multiple other charges. The 55-year-old works as a special education teacher for Milwaukee Public Schools, accused of driving the wrong way onto I-94 in October when the VP's motorcade was working its way through the city. Wacker could face up to 10 years in prison if convicted on the felony endangering safety charge. He remains free on bail.
Time for news about your money. Here's the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed bag on Wall Street right now. The Dow is down nearly 20 points to 43,201. S&P 500 is up, though, up a little bit, up 2 points to 5,952. And the NASDAQ is down almost 58 points to 19,453. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather coming up next. Siding Unlimited, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
This report sponsored by the Fireside Theater, the ultimate Elvis tribute musical.
Which one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now, go cat go.
Elvis is back in the building at the Fireside Theater in Fort Atkinson, and you've never seen anything like it.
Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell.
Back in the Building features a rotating cast of the finest award-winning Elvis tribute artists and Anne Margaret, all backed by an incredible live band and ensemble. Experience the eras of Elvis in this legendary feel-good show. From the 50s to the movies, the 60s comeback to the rockin' 70s. It's all here. Every ticket to the Fireside includes a superb dinner prepared by award-winning chefs and a chance to visit their spectacular gift shops. Hurry, tickets are going fast. Call 920-563-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. Elvis back in the building, live on stage, January 9th through February 23rd. Only at the Fireside Theater.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. A fast start for the Milwaukee Bucks leads to 30 points for Dame and 26 for Giannis, and a 122-93 win over the Magic. Milwaukee is now 22-17. That's good for fourth place in the East. Next up in this homestand, the Bucks take on the Raptors tomorrow night. Wisconsin women's basketball back in action tonight, hosting Ohio State. Badger Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more.
Let's check those roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving, time saver traffic. New incident right now on the ramp from 43 north to 894, right there in the hail. Right shoulder blocked due to a broken down vehicle reported just about 10 minutes ago. Earlier incident on the ramp from County G to 4194 north looks to have been taken care of, according to the DOT cams, and everywhere else is looking like a very smooth drive this afternoon. No other incidents or delays.
And here's your 5-day forecast. Chance of flurries today, mostly cloudy, otherwise breezy too. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. We have a high of 36 today, and that's where we're sitting right now in Milwaukee. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll dip down to 24 for the low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, slight mix at night. High of 42. It's going to be a mild one. Saturday, though, we start to take the plunge again. Mostly cloudy. Falling temps, high of 26. Sunday, partly cloudy and cold, high of 8. And then Monday, it's going to be very cold. Our high is only 5, and the wind is going to make it feel below 0.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Tighe, and in for Greg Metzik, it's Adam Roberts.
Wow, what a day. This is one of those days you just felt like it was never going to come, even though your brain knew it would.
I remember the last call from the end of last season against the Mets. Obviously, it was a very emotional call. We all remember it very well here on WTMJ, and I just couldn't help shake the fact, despite, like you mentioned, Jessica, you just never assume this day is going to come, that I just felt something was in the air and I couldn't shake it. I was hoping we could stave this off, but a sad day indeed.
If you're just checking in now, Bob Uecker, Hall of Famer and legendary broadcaster, has died at the age of 90.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
And the breaking news today is our big story now at noon. The beloved Bob Uecker has died. Mr. Baseball passed away at his home early this morning at the age of 90. Every call was just incredible. It made you even more excited about the play that you just watched.
And again, to our point earlier about how he was able to do it that good for so long, that call was from 2023. It's not like that was from 20 years ago.
Uecker spent 54 seasons as a broadcaster for his hometown team, calling Milwaukee Brewers games right here on 620 WTMJ. The Milwaukee Brewers are calling this one of the most difficult days in Brewers history as the club mourns his passing. In a statement, the organization says Uecker was the light of the Brewers, the soundtrack of our summers, the laughter in our hearts, and his passing is a profound loss. He was the heart and soul of Wisconsin and a dear friend. The Brewers go on to say Bob loved people. His presence warmed every room, and he had a way of welcoming all of us into his world as if we were lifelong friends. Saying goodbye to Bob shakes us all. I think that's what a lot of people are feeling right now. The Brewers say he was so much more than a Milwaukee Brewers icon. He was a national treasure. Bob entertained us with his words and storytelling, so it is no surprise that his passing now leaves us at a loss for our own words.
And we are hearing more from the family of Bob Uecker as well, putting out a statement today saying Uecker faced a private battle with small cell lung cancer, this going back to early 2023, which the family says he met with the same strength and resilience that defined him. Even in the face of this challenge, his enthusiasm for life was always present, never allowing his spirit to falter. Family goes on to say he brought joy to countless listeners through his wit, charisma, and love for baseball, Milwaukee, and all of Wisconsin. And to that end, Jessica, even as recently as last season, I can just recall so many moments of just wit and funny. I remember there was a game where also iconic broadcaster Bob Costas randomly showed up and just spent some time with Uecker in the booth.
I just saw Bernie Brewer up there in his chalet.
Boy.
He doesn't slide down unless a Brewer hits a home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And if, somebody else hits it, he jumps.
Somehow survives, but much the worse for wear.
Those people that sit right under him, they take a pretty good rip.
The family statement continues, while his contributions to the game are noteworthy, it's his kindness, humility, and love for family and friends we hold closest to our hearts. Grateful for the outpouring of love and support during this difficult time. And to that end, if you have more memories of Mr. Baseball, keep them coming in to our Siding Unlimited talk and text line. It's 855-616-1620.
The Brewers are planning a public celebration of Bob Uecker's life. I know a lot of you will want to know the details on that, and those details will come later. Also, Potawatomi Casino Hotel has confirmed they plan to shine the Brewers logo on top of their hotel tower until Monday in Uecker's honor. It's 12:12.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our retirement-ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Mothan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
0-1 pitch, swung on a drive in a deep left field, going back towards the wall. It may be. It's back at the wall. Home run for Bob Uecker.
What a find in the archives for that one. The first home run of Bob Uecker's professional baseball playing career here, archived here on WTMJ. We'll have a lot of calls of his broadcasting career, but I thought it was important also to include the man played baseball right here in Milwaukee, too.
Beloved Brewers broadcaster Bob Uecker has passed away at the age of 90, passing away at his home this morning. That kind of makes you feel a little bit better, right? He was at home. He's 90. What an amazing career he had. This is a very sad day, but one of our listeners wrote in and said, I think he would want us to be happy and look back at all the memories, which is what I was saying before. You know, some of these memories that we have that we can laugh. You know, he made us laugh so much and laughed a lot at himself. I'll tell you what, my co-host, Greg Matzik, is on vacation right now. He's in the Dominican Republic, and I never, ever, ever planned to call him right in the middle of vacation. Not. But Greg, thank you so much for joining us, because I know this is hard for you to miss a day like this. This is the only reason we would call you in the Dominican Republic in the middle of your vacation, is to share your memories of Bob Uecker. Can you believe this? I mean, we felt like it was never going to happen, even though we knew it would.
Yeah, Jessica, I go back to the final day of the Brewers season, that heartbreaking loss to the Mets, and listening to Jeff Levering sign off the radio that day. He was very emotional, and I hung around the clubhouse for a long period of time, and so did Bob, and that was not terribly common. He was always a part of the clubhouse. He was a fixture in the clubhouse, but hours after that loss, Bob was still there, and so was his really good friend Robin Yount, and I think Bob knew at that time that could be his final opportunity to be with the guys in the clubhouse. And if you remember, after that game, we hung out waiting for Christian Yelich and Willie Adames and all the players to, reflect on a great season that unfortunately ended with that heartbreaking loss to the Mets. But all that Christian wanted to talk about was his conversation with Bob. And while he didn't reveal too much, you knew that conversation teetered on, hey, I don't know what's going to happen here. Bob was being treated for a cancer that popped up in 2023, and that cancer was no longer treatable. And I don't know if he knew what the future held, but he wanted to have that final closure with the team in the clubhouse that night.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Yelich was in tears. I remember us talking about it that next day on the show, just wondering, was this going to be the end for Bob for the Brewers? And unfortunately now here we are at the end. But as I mentioned at the top too, there's so much goodness to think back on. What are some of those fun memories that you have of Bob, whether it was during a game or listening to a call or interviewing him or afterwards in the locker room?
It starts with, and I mean this with all due respect, it starts with a little bit of intimidation. As a 22-year-old in the Brewers clubhouse, you see Bob walk through, and all of a sudden you're like, you clam up, like, do I say something? Do I not say something? And that, I think, just explains what sort of legend and celebrity he truly is and was. And the players knew it, too. Bob was the king, right? For all these players and athletes who are celebrities because of their profession, Bob was celebrity and king number one walking around the clubhouse. And he held court. Anybody who walked by Bob, who interacted with Bob, left with a sense of gratification just for a simple hey buddy or a handshake or a wink and a nod. He made you feel good. And once you started to get to know Bob over the years like I had, nothing changed with the way he interacted. It was always positive. It was upbeat. It was reflective. It was self-deprecating. All the things that made Bob incredible on the radio and as an entertainer who entertained thousands and thousands through his work on television and behind the mic calling Brewers baseball. That's what everyday conversations with Bob were like. He was always an entertainer, whether the microphone or camera was on or if it wasn't.
Greg, you and Bob obviously very much had so many memories you shared. I recall his commitment to the community also was just unmatched by so many around Southeast Wisconsin. My one encounter in person with him was actually right before I started working here at the Lombardi Golf Classic in Menominee Falls, when he would be out there along with several other professional athletes from our area. Can you speak to the community commitment that Euchre shared with this region specifically?
Yeah, there's a few ways to highlight what he did in the community here, Adam, for some of the outstanding charities in southeastern Wisconsin and nationwide. Yes, he was a fixture at the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation Golf Classic. It's played at North Hills every year. Bob is a house on North Hills right off the 7th tee box. And as the fall starts to set in and the leaves fall, you can see a little path that goes through the 7th tee box to Bob's house. Bob rarely took a day off. He rarely took a day off, especially a home game. But he would, on occasion, take a day off to play in the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation Golf Classic. That was a very meaningful organization to him. And I think part of what really you maybe don't know about Bob is, all the live reads and commercials and endorsements that he would do. Yes, he would get paid for that stuff, but he would take that money and donate it to charity. He didn't collect. He did not collect those dollars. He donated it to Make-A-Wish and countless other charities. They would be the beneficiary of him reading a commercial for Boucher or one of the countless advertisers that he would advertise for throughout the Brewers radio network. I don't think people really know that, but he would not collect that money. He would donate it.
Oh, wow. Bob Euchre, you certainly cannot replace him. Well, thank you so much. My co-host, Greg Matzik, who is on his family vacation right now in the Dominican Republic, but we knew that you would want to chat about the legendary Bob Euchre as he has passed away this morning at the age of 90. Have fun, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you, guys. Keep celebrating that life. It's an unbelievable life that he lived.
We will. More memories of Bob Euchre coming up right after this. It's 12:21.
Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra concertmaster Jinwoo Lee is the soloist in the tuneful and romantic violin concerto by Jean Sibelius, January 24th and 25th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Music director Ken David Mazur will lead the MSO in this program, which also features the tone poem Pan and Syrinx by Danish composer Carl Nielsen, as well as this searingly beautiful musical elegy Within Her Arms by British contemporary composer Anna Klein. Tchaikovsky's dazzling Romeo and Juliet rounds out this lush and dreamy program. Visit MSO.org for tickets and more information, or call the box office now at 414-291-7605. The number again for tickets is 414-291-7605.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, the certainty of protection and income are the keys to success. And as a former NFL player myself, I have experience with both. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game films helped me mentally prepare for the challenges ahead. Now I star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception to help you visualize and prepare for your fourth quarter of life. You see, you don't retire on your nest egg, but rather the income it can produce. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. And it's free for you to view. Call 844-763-2837 right now for your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Don't risk your retirement savings at the goal line. You don't need to be risky to have a winning strategy. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free streaming code to watch The Retirement Deception. Call today, 844-763-2837. That's 844-763-2837. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
He's ready and delivers. Morgan, a smash up the middle. Base hit to center. Here comes Gomez. Around third. A throw and the Brewers win.
Game 5 of the National League Divisional Series 2011 walk-off T-plush Niger Morgan with Euchre on the call. That, Jessica, is bar for bar my favorite Euchre call of all time, a very personal one for me. I was working in radio in Mayville at the time, and we were carrying the game, and I was going insane at the Great 98 in Mayville, Wisconsin, working the board.
That one gives you the goosebumps, like so many of them do. If you're just checking in with us now, Mr. Baseball has passed away. The legendary Bob Euchre died at his home early this morning at the age of 90. And every week at this time, we talk with Joel Brennan, president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee. And Joel, as you were listening to that clip, you had your eyes closed. What is it like to just sit back as a Brewers fan and listen to that, now knowing that Bob isn't with us anymore?
Well, I was there. I was able to experience that. And, I'm 54 years old. And so for every year that I have been alive, Bob Euchre has been the voice of Brewer baseball. And so, as I think about what today means for any of us who's a fan or who grew up around this, it's just, it's like leaving and losing a friend. We were talking before we came on the air. It's inevitable that this happens. Bob was 90 years old, had a wonderful run, but he has been, I think about growing up here and listening to Brewer games when they were playing the Oakland A's or the Seattle Mariners. I had a little transistor radio next to my bed. And he was my nighttime. I didn't have music on. I had Bob Euchre. I mean, that's how lots of us who grew up in this town, that's how we grew up. And he has been there for all of us for all this time.
Yeah, I remember going to then Miller Park as a teenager. I would bring a little cassette deck. I mean, this wasn't that long ago, but I knew I wanted to be like Bob. And I would sit in the 400s and have the tape deck with me practicing. And my mom, I'm sure, was very annoyed by it. But he impacted so many people in ways that you don't even always think about as a broadcaster.
Yeah. And I've over the years, I've been to Brewers fantasy baseball camp a couple of times. And Bill Schroeder, who does a wonderful job on TV, he runs that. But there are lots of people in this town who will watch the Brewer broadcasts on TV, but turn Euchre on the radio still and did. Like that became part of who we were. And I'll tell you a little bit about my experiences at fantasy baseball camp. It's great. You go down to the to the Brewers spring training facility and you get to see old players and it's terrific. But there are two times when just kind of the air changes. It's when Robin Yount comes around and Robin hangs around for a little bit. And for obvious reasons, we all know what a star Robin was. But the other was when Euchre would show up. Yeah. And that was just it was because he's every man. He went to, Milwaukee Tech here. He grew up here. But he also, got to be this legend for everything but his skills playing baseball, for everything else of who he was. And that's something I think all of us would cherish. And it's just, there are so many memories of our lives that will be intertwined with Bob Euchre and Brewer baseball.
You ever sit in the Euchre seats?
I've walked around them. I've admired the people in them.
Oh, man, I think I've sat in them. I remember when they unveiled that statue. I think it was like 2014. They unveiled the statue way up there in the Euchre seats.
And I remember, so they talked the Euchre seats there, but there was a commercial that he was in about the Euchre seats before it ever became a thing. It was him getting yanked out of the first row and being put in the back row. I must be in the front row. I must be in the front row. Exactly.
I know already over at American Family Field, there are people who are putting flowers down for him, candles, and I also saw when I took a peek last time, 2 Miller Lights.
I'm sure there will be more.
Well, thank you so much, Joel. I know this time is cut a little bit shorter today, but we appreciate you being here and sharing your memories as well. Coming up during our 12:30 hour, stay with us because Jonathan Lucroy will join us, former Brewers baseball player, and share some of his memories, not just playing and having calls from Euchre, but also some of his personal ones, like fishing with Euchre. It's 12:27.
And now, about your house. It's where you live. But do you also live in your yard? My friends at Outdoor Living Unlimited help people extend their home living beyond the walls. Your imagination may be limited, so let's call on Eric Brown, president of Outdoor Living Unlimited, to expand upon it.
Some of the most exciting projects from Outdoor Living Unlimited involve adding dimension to the backyard. During the design phase, we bring all kinds of ideas to the project. We generally start with the focused effort in the 2D world, the two-dimensional world, with a deck or a paver patio. I call this our blank canvas. Decks and patios, when built right, are wonderful to enjoy when you want to relax and unwind. unwind. Designed correctly, these projects lend themselves to adding a third dimension to the backyard that often consists of a version of a pergola. I say version of a pergola because the term pergola has taken on so many meanings and styles recently. We can build a pergola that has cedar slats to break up the sun, which looks beautiful, gives the backyard a defined space, and definitely adds another dimension to the backyard. These are stylish with their natural beauty. If you're looking for more, pergolas have evolved all the way to powder coat aluminum framing with automated louvers in the roof that open for natural light or, with the press of a button, close to deflect rain or create shade. These newer contemporary pergolas also have automated screens that you can open and close with the push of a button. You control your space. If you want screens for privacy, wind deflection, or to deter bugs, you can have them down. Or press a button and the screens roll up and you have a clear view of your surroundings. There are so many other options when it comes to designing your space. Adding a third dimension brings excitement to any backyard.
See all of the cool things that Outdoor Living Unlimited can do for your yard on their Instagram page. Or see it inside Outdoor Living Unlimited's unique Outside In showroom in Waukesha. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It is 12:30. I'm Jessica Tighe. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, January 16th. Your top story, remembering the legendary Bob Uecker.
I'm Adam Roberts, an unfortunate first in Wisconsin.
We have a chance of flurries today, mostly cloudy, otherwise and breezy. Wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. High of 36, which we just hit here in Milwaukee. Tonight, mostly cloudy. We'll dip down to 24 for the low. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, and mild. We have a high of 42 tomorrow.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The Biden administration says it will not take action Sunday against TikTok. That's when the social media app ban is set to begin. An administrative official tells ABC News it will be up to the incoming Trump administration to implement the ban. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says many users are already taking action just in case to protect their data.
With this set to go dark, possibly in 3 days, it might be a good time to download some of your data, save videos that you want to keep from the app. You can do that by going into your settings and downloading it from there.
Winds in Southern California easing today. That's helping fire crews as they battle to contain last week's deadly wildfires. Rescue teams still looking for victims through the ash from the Palisades and Eaton fires. And word today, director David Lynch has died. His family posting the news on social media. Lynch was known for his mysterious hits like Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet. David Lynch was 78. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the voice of Brewers baseball, Bob Uecker, has died at the age of 90. Brewers star Christian Yelich talked about Bob after the last game of the 2024 season.
What has he meant to you? He means a lot. It means a lot. Gotten to know him pretty good over the last 7 years, so just it's right over there. A great guy.
Uecker's longtime friend, Commissioner Emeritus of Major League Baseball and former Brewers owner Bud Selig says, "I'm so grateful that Bob's friendship was a constant presence throughout most of my life." Selig goes on to say, for over 50 years, rarely did a day pass where we missed a conversation, a sharing of stories, and countless laughs. That cannot be replaced, and it's a giant loss, but I'm lucky to have experienced that kind of enduring friendship. Uecker's family confirms he had been battling small cell lung cancer since early 2023.
A child has died from the flu. The Department of Health Services confirming the first pediatric death in Wisconsin associated with influenza. DHS recommending everyone over the age of 6 months get vaccinated against the flu as well as COVID-19 to avoid serious illness. There have been 16 flu-related deaths of children across the nation.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:33.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Eyes Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacin-capted Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
The legendary voice of the Brewers, Bob Uecker, has passed away. We remember the life, the legacy, and of course the calls.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Go!
Rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it. We'll miss you, Bob.
Hi, this is Nate from Best Electric. We are a second-generation family owned and operated and based in West Dallas. Our motto is no job is too big or too small, and we stand by our work. Have you been thinking about buying a new electric car or truck? We can handle the installation of your charging equipment with ease. Have problems with ice damming on your roof? We have a solution with the installation of our roof de-icing cable. We are always happy to provide free estimates. Connect with the best. Visit bestelect.com today.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A fast start for the Milwaukee Bucks leads to 30 points for Dame and 26 for Giannis, and a 122-93 win over the Magic. Milwaukee is now 22-17, good for fourth in the East. Next up in this homestand, the Bucks take on the Raptors tomorrow night. Wisconsin women's basketball back in action tonight, hosting Ohio State. Badger Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
Let's check the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Got an incident right now just into the newsroom at 4145 North. It looks like Wisconsin Avenue near Watertown Plank Road. The far right side of the road is shut down right now due to what the DOT is referring to only as an incident. I count multiple squad cars, fire trucks, and ambulance on scene with their lights on right now. Again, this is right by the Medical College of Wisconsin by the water tower, if you know there. So you'll move over to the left and be mindful as they work on the incident there. Again, 4145 North near Watertown Plank Road. We have an incident on the right side of the road. Everywhere else is looking all right this afternoon. No other major incidents or delays.
Let's go ahead right now and check out that 5-day forecast. Wow, what a swing in temps. Today, chance of flurries, mostly cloudy, breezy, high of 36, wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, will dip down to 24. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, breezy, and mild. A slight mix tomorrow night, high of 42 on Friday. Saturday, that's when we start to take the dip again. Mostly cloudy, falling temps, high of 26. Sunday, partly cloudy and cold. We have a high of 8 on Sunday, but Monday, we're going down even lower, a high of 5. And with the wind, it's going to be below 0, feeling like it for sure. Mostly cloudy on Monday and that high of 5. It's currently 32 in Milwaukee.
Your all-you-need-to-know segment centered around the Milwaukee Bucks.
The long wait has ended. After a half-century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
It's Bucks Insiders, every Thursday at 12:35. Sponsored by Best Electric and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
2 big games for the Bucks right here at home, and we're not done here at home. We're hoping for more wins. Bucks Insider, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors and Best Electric. Joining us live right now for Dave Insiders. For Dave Insiders, it's Dave is our insider.
Special segment. Oh boy.
Dave Kane joins us. He's the play-by-play broadcaster for the Bucks. Thanks so much for joining us, Dave. Before we get to the Bucks, I've got to ask you. We have this breaking news today, of course, with the legendary Bob Uecker, Mr. Baseball. Just icon for the Brewers, has passed away at his home, happened early this morning. He was 90, but I'm wondering from your perspective, As a broadcaster for one of our major sports teams here, what are your thoughts on Euchre?
Well, he's one of the legends. And, I think I'm so happy for two things this year. I had not had a chance to meet Bob until this summer, and I was very fortunate that I got a chance to meet him in the broadcast booth when he was doing one of the Brewers games this summer. So I'm so grateful for that opportunity to just share a few words with him and, kind of get you even got a sense for his personality in that brief exchange. He's just one of a kind. But the other part that was really neat for me was I was driving. I had a long road trip in October, that last game the Brewers played. And I didn't grow up in Wisconsin myself, so I did not grow up listening to you. And I had a sense that it might be the final game that you called. And I got to listen to every inning of that game. And that's another thing. I'm so grateful for that opportunity to hear it. But these guys, they're just generational. A guy like Euchre, to call him a broadcaster doesn't even really describe so much of what he has done and meant, obviously, to this community. I mean, I feel it in our broadcasts. His fingerprints are on our broadcasts in an entirely different league, of course, in the same city and sharing a flagship station, but in our structure. I can see the fingerprints from Bob Euchre in our broadcasts. And, I guess I do have a tremendous amount of gratitude for having had a chance to just share a little bit of what he's about this year, just a small dose of it, but also to be a broadcaster in the same city as this guy. I mean, Milwaukee's been so fortunate with so many good broadcasters, but none more impactful than Bob Euchre. And to see a guy do that till he was 90 years old.
Yeah.
What just an unbelievable run. And just to get a small taste of it. So many stories that this guy had. He was just a walking encyclopedia of stories, real human stories. And, Doc Rivers has a little bit of that too himself. He's got so many stories. He's known so many guys, but nobody more than Euchre. And that is one of the sad parts of this. So many of those stories, and so many of them have been recorded and shared through his life, but they're gone too with him, and you don't get to hear those anymore. But that's just kind of life. Everything is always shifting and evolving, but how lucky are we that we had this guy for 90 years on this planet and what he was able to do and mean to this community. Just awesome. I'm so grateful to have been able to get a small taste of it.
And Dave, how unique is it? I mean, this was his 54th season. 2024 was the 54th season as a broadcaster for his hometown team. That doesn't happen often.
It's unheard of. I mean, there's a couple guys. Al McCoy just passed away. He had been doing the Phoenix Suns for half a century as well. But Euchre's even more unique in that he played the game before that, so he was in this game for close to a century. It's just wild, and everything that he has seen and his personality that's gone with it, and to be in one place that long, it's just unheard of, and so unique. And you're heartbroken to see that he's passed, but you're also so grateful and like I say, privileged to be able to have a guy like that in your city. It's so unique. And I know that Brewers fans and Milwaukee fans know that, but I guess I can't drive that point home enough. Just so unique to have someone like that in your city for that long.
Bucks broadcaster Dave Kane with us on Bucks Insiders here on Wisconsin's Midday News. As hard as it is, Dave, I want to pivot a little bit to our other pro team in Milwaukee, and that is the Bucks. I'm curious, Dave, a lot of times I find in winter, for Wisconsin sports fans at least, once the Packers are out of it, that's when the attention fully and truly shifts for a lot of people to our Milwaukee Bucks. But that's not doing them justice, I would say, because despite the slow start, they're now winners of 2 straight on this homestand, 4th in the East. Is it at this point that you would say maybe now that we're getting the big 3 in various amounts of minutes, finally starting to find a little bit of a groove now?
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, the numbers would tell you that. They've had 2 really strange, curious stretches this year that are really tough to explain. And it was obviously the 2-8 start, and then you had a little dip into it again with that. You lost 4 out of 5, but since then now you've won 5 of 6. And interestingly enough, the Bucks will be playing Toronto tomorrow night, and it was that Raptors team that essentially vaulted them out of their doldrums early this season, and then once again out of that last one. And for whatever reason, after they played that Raptors team, they handled them both times. And and it kind of got them on the upswing again. As I mentioned, winning 5 of 6, but not just 5 of 6. You're talking about playing some better teams now. The last 3 straight teams you played have had winning records, and you've actually the last 4 straight, and you've taken 3 of those 4. So that was really important for this team, in my opinion, to prove that they can beat some of those teams. Now, obviously, New York on Sunday wasn't the way they wanted it to go, and against those top 3 teams, they still have not proven that they can handle them. But I know that they can. There's no doubt in my mind. And I always, and I've said this to you guys before when I've come on, but I think that the even-keeled element of what Doc Rivers brings to that locker room is so important, and he's just seen so much, enough to know that it comes down to how you're playing at the end of the year. Are you healthy? And especially for a veteran team, I think that's so true. And I think for Milwaukee, if they see some of these teams at the end, if they're healthy and they're playing right, there's no question in my mind that they can beat Cleveland. They can beat Boston. And as hard as it may be to believe right now, I do think New York's a tough matchup, but they can beat New York too. But against Boston and Cleveland, they've had close games, and they played them in early in the season when they weren't whole. New York, that's another one. It's a little bit of a riddle. And it's so crazy, too, because in this league, New York plays that game, and then they lose the next game they play. It's just not even looking close to that same team. So, I don't know. This game is funny. And I'm even going to bring up another very curious, just to show that it's not just the Bucks that are experiencing this. We saw Toronto the other night. Toronto could not have – they were a traffic cone defensively. The Bucks could have scored whenever they wanted to. That same team – held Boston under a point per possession, under 100 points for only the second time this year on Friday night. Go figure. It's a crazy game, and it really does depend on the night. But you give me that Bucks lineup, I'll take my chances.
Dave, in 30 seconds here, I'm curious. Bucks tweeted a picture out last night of Giannis, Dame, and Chris Middleton, and the caption was, "We are so back." Is this trio back?
They are getting there. I still think they can do better. I still think they will do better. And I think that's going to formulate more and more with each passing game they play, but they are definitely getting there. And the ceiling for this team is just exceptionally high, in my opinion. So I don't think we've seen the best of what's to come yet, but I think we're getting a sense of it.
I'm feeling that too. All right. Well, 2 big games here, 2 W's. We'll see what happens for this 4-game homestand coming up. Thanks so much. That's Dave Kane, play-by-play broadcaster for the Bucks for this week's Bucks Insiders.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Market Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, a lot of folks have buying a home on their New Year's resolution list, and while national news headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, I'm afraid that's just not the case in most of Wisconsin. So how do you make your offer stand out from the others so that someone else doesn't end up sleeping in your dream home? Well, it takes a team of a good real estate agent and a mortgage lender who has all the tools and techniques to help make your offer as attractive as possible in the eyes of that seller. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet, rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that might also come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. We'll also help you understand exactly what it means in dollars and cents if you do decide to offer over asking or give that seller some appraisal wiggle room. All you have to do to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval is click on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Sun, 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 fun, fun, fun. Sun, 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 every kind of boat under the sun.
That boat show music is back, and so is Wisconsin's largest boat show. Everything from family runabouts, ski and surf boats, fishing boats, luxury pontoons, and more Great Lakes cruisers and motor yachts. Get that boat and get that deal. Shop for skis, boards, and tubes at the Tubers Truckload Sale. Check MilwaukeeBoatShow.com. January 17 through 26, State Fair Park. Closed Monday and Tuesday.
And Lucroy sends that one into right center and deep, way back. Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Lucroy. He just hit another home run.
Wow. Just another amazing call. Mr. Baseball has passed away. Legendary Bob Uecker died at his home early this morning at the age of 90. There he was with a call for Jonathan Lucroy. Jonathan Lucroy, former Brewers player, joins us live on the phone right now. Thanks for being with us, Jonathan. When you hear that call, knowing what you know now, how do you feel?
And, well, first of all, thanks for having me. You know, it's a sad day, but look, he lived a great life. I know he was battling some illness, an illness the last couple of years, and you know, I sit here and you know I think about that, and I think about all the great calls he made over the years for Brewers fans, and you know, it's sad, it's tough. I mean, he was the voice of the Brewers, and a lot of fans grew up. Their childhood was based around listening to him on the radio. And so, yeah, it's a sad day, but you know, he lived out his dream, and he was a part of all the great historical moments that the Brewers have done throughout history. So I'm very proud and privileged to have known him and been friends with him.
You have a couple of really fun stories, too, and I think that's one thing that, you know, to take time, we can be sad, of course, as we are, but also take time to remember all the great moments. You've got some good moments with you. Fishing?
Yep, fishing. You know, we would go to dinner. He knew my daughter. He knew my wife. Like, he was always very friendly with everybody, the players' families, everybody. So the kids, I mean, I think my wife has a picture of my daughter when she was real young and him somewhere floating around. I think I need to try to find it. But yeah, it's, you know, we have a lot of good stories. I mean, the boat story that I posted on Twitter was really good, you know. And,
not everyone has seen that. What's that fun story that you have with you out there fishing?
Well, I grew up fishing. I love to fish. And I think we were talking about it one day in the dugout. And he's like, hey, man, an off day coming up. You should come out in my boat, go fishing with me. I was like, really? What kind of fishing do you do? He goes, well, we fish for salmon and lake trout. And we troll around, and I have a guy that comes and helps me, like a captain kind of thing. And, you know, and we just fish. So, you know, I had caught a lake trout. I was reeling it up to the side of the boat. He hands me his net. I net it. And when I did, I go to pull the fish in, the rubber handle on the end of the net falls off. And the net just immediately goes straight down, like it sinks. And Uke looks at me and just deadpans me serious. You know, his sense of humor was always deadpan comedy. He looks at me and he goes, that was my grandfather's net. And I was young. And so I'm going like, oh my God, and then it kind of hit me. I'm like, wait a second, that's got to be an old net. Because, you know, Uke wasn't young, you know. I was like, that's got to be one old net. And he just started dying laughing at me. He goes, I'm just messing with you. He goes, I got 15 nets back at the marina or whatever. And, you know, he was just messing with me. But that's the way he was. He would always come in and mess with people and deadpan them. And, you know, he was highly entertaining to be around. He had some really good stories that he would say, you know, about all the players he played with. I mean, I have a couple stories that I know about him that are very, they're not appropriate for public consumption, but they were hilarious. I mean, he's just he's just a hilarious guy. And again, I mean, he was just a great personality and a great man. And, we're all going to miss him, and so but on a positive side, he left a huge impact. And, I know there wasn't anybody that didn't like him. I mean, everybody loved him. And I don't know, if you didn't like Bob Uecker, then you had some problems you needed to work through. So,
two-time All-Star catcher for the Brewers, Jonathan Lucroy, joining us on Wisconsin's Midday News. Luke, you played for 9 teams throughout your major league career, including your 7 years in Milwaukee. When it comes to the broadcasters on all the teams that you've played for, where does Ueck rank in terms of accessibility to the players? Because we hear, and we've heard from Christian Yelich and cuts from earlier last year at the end of the season about how much this impacted them, even as they were leaving the playoffs.
Right. Again, like knowing that a guy like that who's around every day, he cared more about the Brewers than anybody. I mean, he's from Milwaukee, native Wisconsinite. I mean, this is his life. And, like I said, it's just a sad day that affects all the players. I mean, because, Ueck, his biggest thing is he wanted to be here when they won a World Series. And so, obviously that didn't happen. And so it's kind of, you feel bad about it because whenever a guy like that is as legendary as he is and as impactful as he was in the community and on the team, obviously it breaks your heart that he wasn't able to be a part of it, when that does happen eventually for the Brewers, and I believe it will. I just really wish that you could be there to witness it. And, guess what? He will be. He'll see it. He just won't be here, and he just won't be there in person, but he'll see it.
Yeah, You're right. He'll be looking down on that one, and we can't wait.
That's right.
The beloved Bob Uecker has died. Mr. Baseball passing away at his home early this morning at the age of 90. Thank you so much. It's former All-Star for the Brewers, Jonathan Lucroy, joining us live. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
Thanks for having me.
It's 12:55. And hey, before we go, can't forget this one. We're going to lift your spirits at the boat show. How about? Milwaukee Boat Show is here January 17th through the 19th and the 22nd through the 26th. 8 days of boating excellence at the Wisconsin Expo Center at State Fair Park. We're going to give away tickets right now. So do you want to pick the number again, Adam?
Sure, I can pick the number. Unfortunately, I don't remember off the top of my head. I was going to do Uecker's jersey number when he played with the Braves, but I don't have that collection. But let's just do... Let's see, there's 4 bases on the ball diamond. Let's do caller number 4.
I like that. And you know what? I had picked that as well.
Okay.
The 4th caller.
Excellent
but I was going to let you do it. So
all right, number
thinking
4.
alike. The 4th caller. So be the 4th caller, and you'll be going to the boat show at the Expo Center and State Fair Park. The number to call, 855-616-1620. That's the Sonic Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620. Be the 4th caller, and you'll be going to the boat show at the Expo Center at State Fair Park. Milwaukee Boat Show is back at Wisconsin State Fair Park inside the Expo Center. Thank you so much for joining us, and also for all of you who have shared your memories of Bob Uecker. It's been quite the morning, quite the day here. We're all sad, but also, this is a time, too, to look back on the good times and to hear those calls. I mean, I got the goosebumps when we played a lot of those calls. A lot of good memories, and share them. Laugh a little bit today. I know a lot of people are over at American Family Field. They're putting some flowers down, putting some beer cans down, lots of Miller Lights out there. All in honor of Ueck.
Keep the memories coming into our Siding Unlimited talk and text line, 855-616-1620. If you want to hear more of the archived memories we have here at WTMJ as well, you can text Bob, B-O-B, Bob, to 855-616-1620. Our Siding Unlimited talk and text line. We'll have continuing coverage of Bob Uecker's passing throughout the day here on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers, WTMJ.
Bob Uecker. We'll never forget him. It's 12:57. Local news is up next.
Spanning the State with Kristen Bry.